It's moving. It's Young People Nation.
Welcome to Young People Nation. Listen to us weekly as we commit to bring transparency, healing, and truth to the everyday situations in life that might bring you down. Join us for your weekly dose of inspiration. Thank you for listening to Young People Nation. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. And now, here's your host, Eugene and Donna Perry.
Let's go. Christ is the foundation. Know his word gon' lead us. Know I'm already going. Taking steps I believe in. Giving guidance to the youth. Giving guidance to the lost. Giving the world to the project.
Well, we're in 2026.
Really?
Yes, we are. We're in 2026 and you know, we're here and we're grateful to God for being here. And today we're with two amazing people.
Oh, yeah.
That we've had the pleasure of knowing since when? 2005, 6?
Forever.
It's been a minute, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Mr. Jonathan Wallace and Miss Sheena Wallace. These are two, they really love God.
Yes.
And their heart is to serve the youth. Now, both of them college graduates. He's great in computers. You're great at business. What an amazing team.
And I'm great at looking good.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And they're the youth leaders at Faith Outreach Church. They have a strong following with the youth. And so we are so honored that we get the chance to collaborate with you all today. And you all are very dedicated to whatever you do, whatever you put your hands to, there is a sincere dedication. And so we are honored that you have come to sit down and talk with us today about youth and your experience with the youth, okay? Now, this is session 1, and we're going to be talking about young adults and dating. You know, a lot of them, our young people, they don't understand what that means, okay? Some people, they don't have the direction. They don't understand, but I watch you two, and I watch you two, and I watch you two, and I was like, man, I'm just over here grinning about these two. So as youth leaders, share the wisdom you give youth about dating.
Well,
first off, we want to say thank you for having us.
yes. Yes. We don't take it lightly. We love y'all, so we just thank y'all.
And you guys, and I will say that you guys have always been a safe place for young people, and your umbrella has been stretched out, and we're so proud of y'all for the platform and for the voice y'all have in the community. But it's definitely befitting to y'all. To what y'all do.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Right. Thank you. To God be the glory.
I want to put that out there.
Oh, yes, so definitely. I love these two. I put hands on people for them. So
Let that roll around.
So I do love it. Yes. So when it comes to young people and dating, and I think before we try to get with somebody else, I think the main question is, what about you? Like, how do you feel? How do you feel about you? As far as like, because you know, you have to have a solid foundation before you try to bring somebody else into your life.
I love that.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like, ask questions, like, because some people, especially these days with social media and stuff like that, people might want to check themselves, like, why do I want to get in a relationship? Because I don't want to be alone.
Right.
Or all my friends are dating, or even with adults. Hey, I want somebody to help me take care of these kids or these bills. And they're like,
solid points.
It has
popular.
no reason about the other person. But, you know, so you have to check yourself before you want to, why do you want to get in a relationship? Is it for the right reasons, the right motives? But if you want to say, hey, I just want to, you know, be there with somebody. I want to, you know, somebody that compliment me and stuff like that. So I think from there, once you get that starting point, I think there for you, checking yourself and seeing your foundation, then you could proceed forward as far as dating somebody else or trying to get to court.
That's good right there.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Yes.
And so what I hear you saying is you want to make sure it makes sense while you're dating and that the intent is genuine. It's genuine. And so sometimes that takes us slowing down to ask ourselves those specific questions. And so, I mean, we can kind of go in it pretty hard off the top, but we're more concerned about laying a solid foundation before you actually enter into a relationship. Because I think what not just young people, but old people do is that they're just gun-ho ready to go without giving it the right kind of structure from the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we had some, you know, am I okay with keeping it rolling? We had some things that we thought was great things that you need to kind of check off your list before you kind of get going.
Come on, talk about it.
And we can alternate. We were just talking about discovering who you are first.
Okay.
Very big deal, right?
Okay.
And if you don't know who you are, then it's kind of hard to know where you're headed and who to bring alongside you, you know? And so very big area, but that's important. And then we also talked about having a sense of vision. You know, before you go out there and just pick someone or just decide to team up with somebody, you literally want to know, okay, if you don't know everything about where you had, at least have a sense of it. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because having a sense of it means, okay, this is the general direction that I want to do. This is what I feel led to accomplish in life. This is what maybe even God is showing me. And so I want to kind of, you know, discover that and write that down before I kind of get to rolling, right?
Okay.
I definitely agree because this is my experience.
Okay.
I had to check myself in a lot of things before I try to say I'm gonna be somebody's boyfriend or husband. A lot of people just want the title but don't want to do the work.
Right,
So it's like, because it's not just when I wanted. I had past experience and it was horrible.
Okay.
So, but now I realized, you know, maybe it was something that I, you know, been growing up, or why did I even get in that relationship? Why did I do this? And I had to sit down, and the hardest conversation I believe is with yourself.
Oh, gosh.
You know, so it's like, man, just being honest with yourself, because, and you got to have that solid foundation, you know, as far as Christ, because if not, you're gonna be all over the place. So even my life experience, I had to check myself and like, hey, why I'm doing this? Why I'm doing that? Even outside of a relationship, like why if I'm doing this? That's a big question. Why?
Yes.
Because a lot of people, when they see things, when people on social media, they want to post stuff. They post they post their highlights, but not posting, you know,
The process.
The process.
Yes.
So it's definitely a
Right.
process, and I think the process starts with yourself before you take on anything else.
Self-reflection is what I'm hearing.
Yes. Yes.
Can I ask you this? Now, you said that you had been in some prior things and versus your wife here. And you all been married for how long?
14 and a
years.
half years.
Oh, y'all coming up the ladder.
Don't miss the half, baby. Don't miss the
14.
half.
on now.
Don't miss a half. She said, don't miss the half, bro. Don't miss it. So we talked about, and you know, you said you had been in prior relationships, but with this one, you did more of a self-reflection.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So definitely, because I had to, because sometimes having that conversation with yourself was kind of tough. So hey, what do I have to like? Would I date me? You know, so it's like, hey, hold on, let me tell you that, but
I know what
it's
you
like,
mean,
am I
yeah.
dateable?
Clear that up a little bit.
Yeah.
Some people might sit there and say they don't. Be honest, some people don't even. Sad to say, they have trouble liking themselves.
Right.
Ooh, that's major.
So it's like, hey, how can I get comfortable with myself? So when somebody else comes around, I don't portray stuff out on them, portray how I feel about me on somebody else, and to make them feel good. So like, yeah, I had to do the work to make sure I was okay. So when I was ready and I seen this fine thing at church, I said, okay, I'm ready. And I was ready.
Look, you set your eye over there. You said, okay, wait a minute.
I said, hold on, who this?
Now I'm gonna go outside the lines. Did the TV series and all these stuff on TV, did it play anything in your pursuit of your loved one?
TV series?
Yeah.
What you mean, like rom-coms,
Yeah,
romantic comedies,
all
these
those
things?
things you see on TV and all.
Talking about like love stories.
Love stories
Okay.
and the relationships on like General Hospital and all that and
That's our
and the teen
That's
Well,
it.
teen relationships, you know, those teen stories that a lot of people watch as a kid, play anything in pursuing the real thing.
Well, I didn't watch none of those shows. I
He was
watched
watching Power Rangers.
I was trying to play with my friends, basketball, wrestling.
Okay. Yeah.
So I really didn't watch TV series and stuff like that, but I could see definitely is in play now. Because again, like people posting the highlights and their relationship goes.
Yeah.
They don't have
Right.
the relationship work, and so it's like,
Yes.
so it's definitely. Did I watch TV that much? No, but maybe images, because we grew up in the way it's now. We have more people interaction.
Right.
You know, so with social media, it's like, man, it's very accessible. So they could see what they want to see and everything. But I think today definitely that could that could play a part in what people see and try to bring what they see and put in their lives, and it doesn't really always work like that in some real sense. So definitely, I could definitely see that happening.
Yeah, for me, yeah, we had a few magical moments.
Okay.
But I think, like he said, the middle part in doing the work in a true relationship, I think that's not portrayed on screen. And so, no, it was nothing like that. And it was a lot more practical and a lot more, how can I put it? A lot more hairy and, and a lot of things, both good and bad. But nevertheless, it doesn't show all the work that goes into to the process. So,
can I ask you all this as well? You all deal with the youth a lot. A lot of the youth, they gravitate to you guys, and you all are very intentional with the youth at church and in the community. So, youth and emotions. Okay. Did you either struggle in your emotions in your youth, and how did you get the help you needed?
Okay. Yeah. So far as me, did I struggle with emotions? Yes.
Okay.
Growing up, single parent household, just me and my mom, and my mom was awesome. So it was no issue with that, but I had trouble thinking about the hindsight. I probably had trouble liking myself. My appearance.
Okay.
Or because I didn't have all the nice clothes. I didn't have the new Jordans. I didn't have this. I didn't have that. And back then, they made fun of you because of your color. Because I was dark.
And by the way, I have always loved his chocolate complexion.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's why you were 14 and a half years in.
Yes.
Definitely.
I don't get that at all, but go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So definitely. So I got teased a lot by my appearance, being dark-skinned. And one thing that did stick out on me, and I do not remember this person's name, but I remember in middle school, and I stood to myself. I'm quiet until I feel comfortable.
Right.
So I'm being changing classes, and at that time you had to change classes in middle school. Everybody's in the hallway.
Yes.
And this girl, and I do not remember. I know her first name, but I don't want to say it out there.
Okay.
But, so it's like she stepped out in the hallway from everybody, and she was like, everybody had that one girl that everybody had liked.
Yeah.
So she stepped out. She said, "Jonathan, you be my boyfriend." And I'm like, she talking to me? And I was like, and I didn't answer, but I was like startled. I was like, why is she all of a sudden say that? And she said, "I'm just playing. You so ugly and black." And I was like, okay, why do you do that to me? I don't mind my business. I'm ready to go to class. Like, and that stuck with me. And I didn't realize it really stuck with me like that. So I got real conscious of how I look. I was conscious of how I talk. I really got quiet then because I was like, man, that came unprovoked.
Wow.
And so it's like words, that stuff happens. So I deal with my emotions, and it kind of traumatized me, and it kind of bothered me from even approaching anybody because I was so self-conscious based on somebody that said something that I ain't asked for. And so it's like, so emotions, I did deal with that emotionally, but as I got older and mature, I was like, I shouldn't live off what people say about me. I should live off what God say about me.
Right.
Because, and then I like, hey, I know I'm a good person. Once I did all the work, I knew that, hey, I am a good dude. I'm a good person. I care about people. I treat people how like I want to be treated. And I came to a point where I got conscious where people are always not going to like you, but whatever it might be, people got different tastes, but at the same time, that shouldn't bother who I am. I need to stay have a firm foundation.
Yes.
And who I am, be comfortable with who I am as a person. So I did that first.
And check this out. I'm going to say this. I don't even know her. But look, here you go.
Oh, I'm fine now.
Look here. And look at how you live.
I'm good now.
I'm looking at y'all now.
I got the fine
Girl.
thing in the world. Oh, yes.
And you want me to comment?
I'll go for it.
And so my thing about it, you just said one part that jumped up out me and I could relate. It was, I didn't feel like I emotionally struggled as a young person, probably because of having a good support system and probably getting serious about the Lord at a young age. But when you said, hey, I am enough, and why am I listening to somebody else? I could correlate with that because I played sports growing up, basketball. Lots of people know me in the city for Sheena Carpenter playing basketball.
That's right.
And with that being said, was that there was this innate ability to feel like, okay, I'm not good enough if I don't perform, up to par. And then when I did perform up to par, I was like, I should have even did more, and so that kind of pressure on a person is a whole emotional bout as a young person. And so once I got, a rhythm in playing the game, it was like, look, I don't care if you're playing good or you're playing bad, you are always enough. And I had people to affirm that along the way. Hey, you're good, you're fine. I mean, I had some wonderful, amazing role models in sports and even in my family. And so that was kind of something that I had to get through and get over. But once I got that, probably at 16, 17-year-old, I mean, I'm being honest with you, there was a lot of things that I could weather very easily.
Yes.
And so that was more of a core or foundational issue too. You are enough. You are loved. It doesn't matter how you perform. And that really was something that I feel like is needed with young people, is needed with adults, because if you don't have that, then you're doing a lot of busy work and you're never really resting inside saying, hey, regardless of how life is or what I put out, it's all right. And I'm good. You know?
Good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yes.
So,
Me and my husband both, and we didn't know each other, but we both athletic. I was like you. I played basketball, softball, volleyball. And I didn't have that issue either. And I think about it, I used to have this large birthmark on the side of my face.
Okay.
But I that was never a challenge with me because of, number one, I had a lot of encouragement from my dad.
Right.
And then support in my sports and things like that.
Right.
And so my husband told me one time, he said, you was a little borderline arrogant.
But, shout out to your daddy, because you didn't have to struggle like some of the other women.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So shout out.
I knew my worth.
Right.
You understand? And so when my dad approved of him, here we are.
Right.
And so that is important, though. I love what you all are saying about you had to find who you are, and you had to be good with who you are.
Right.
And whoever don't like it, that's their problem.
Right.
You're not my audience, and that's okay.
But in life, the whole experience, what you're saying is, you go through life and you got all the confidence, and you're not even thinking about things of that nature, and then all of a sudden, some person come out of the wilderness and makes you conscious of who they think you are. And in doing that, it is a inner awakening. I never knew I had hair before someone told me, or I never knew I walked a certain way until somebody said something.
Right.
And so it took you out of the norm that you actually gave that a thought. That's the same way the devil did the angels in heaven.
Right.
They were not aware that they were following a script or they had individual thought until that one person said, consider this.
Yeah, that's good.
So you're right. So there's like an attack on your inner narrative, and you don't see it coming at all a lot of times.
So when you all are dealing, because we see how this go, and we almost finished with session one. So tell us the wisdom that you all give the youth that come to you. Some of them, they may come from a single parent, or they may have challenges being an athlete, or because I know for myself, when I was an athlete, I won't think about guys dating or nothing like that. My focus was how to play ball better.
Right.
And so what do you tell the youth when they're having, some challenges? They're portraying this, but they really got this going on.
Yeah. So back, like he said, learn who you are. Learn what God says about you. You got to start there. And it seems so rudimentary and so elementary, but you can't move forward past any situation or scenario until you solidify that. And so it's as if the young people are looking to one another to solidify their identity. And that was nothing that your your peers were supposed to solidify. That's something that you were supposed to get solidification from your maker. You see what I'm saying? And so what we're seeing is that, hey, look, you're glancing to the side, you're looking to the side to see how somebody else feels about how I feel and who I am. And I remember quite vividly because, I went off to college playing basketball, played in high school, all these things. And I remember one particular person that asked me, they said, people are saying this about me. What do you think? They came to me. And I was like, well, what do you think? And they were like, well, to make a long story short, this young lady didn't know who she was. And I was like, okay, well, just figure out who you are. Just figure out who you are, all these things. And unfortunately, a lot of commotion, probably has transpired since then in her life. But it's like, look, I know, and I need you to know. You see what I'm saying? And so what I really want to do is, crack my Bible open and, tell her what God said about it. But, but you think that, okay, let me just show who I am so that you can relate or what have you. And I think, the process is better for her now, which is amazing. But you can't look to somebody else to tell you. You have to solidify that. Like you say, even in the dating process or your single process, you have to have that. And so what we're seeing with the young people is that whatever the issue or the schisms or the isms may come up, it's like that has to be in place. All right. So I have to take you all the way back to the basics and convince you, but that's not my whole process to take complete ownership of that process.
Yes.
So, I'm praying for you. I'm dropping nuggets. I'm doing all these things, but in the end, I need you to get that.
Yes.
Yes, I definitely agree. Because I think far as youth or period relationship, you got to be transparent. You got to be find ways to be relatable. I share my story because you never know whoever went through that or some things like that. So yes, starting being transparent because the young people, they can see right through you.
Oh yeah,
they can see right through you. So they can see all through all the fake stuff and all that. This image, but they see who you really are.
Yes.
So I think they put. Not saying they, but people could put their stock in something that's not stable. So it's like, hey, the world say, hey, man, you confident based on what you got, how many cars you got, how many likes you got on Instagram, how many people comment on your clothes or how you look. Right. But all that stuff could change.
Yes.
It could fade. You can have 1,000 likes. One day you could have no likes and everything. Now you see some people could post something and they didn't get the likes they want and they'll delete it. Let me repost it in case everybody didn't see it. They're like, so that's wavering stuff. But God said, hey, you come because you belong to me. So it's like, man, you got to put yourself that's stable because God said he's not going to change.
That's
right. So he knows who he calls you are. He's like, you could go to that manufacturer. The Bible's that manufacturer book. When you get a car, you get the manual how it works. So it's like how you supposed to work, how you supposed to act, how you can carry yourself. It's built on a sound foundation versus stuff that's always changing.
Right.
Because when I was growing up, I think having dreads was the thing, but now, you get your hair cut. Then next year might be something. Then dreads might come back.
Dress is still here, baby.
It's wavering all the time. So put in something stable and be confident in that. Be sure who God called you to be.
Amen. Well, this is the end of session 1, just that quick. See how that quick that goes? And so, again, like you said, thank y'all so much for your transparency. You never know who's listening. So we're not clinicians. This is just our opinion, but we do give out resources. There's a 988 hotline that offers 24/7 judgment-free support for mental health, substance abuse, and more. You can also text or call or chat to 988. There's a text HELLO, HELLO. That is 24/7. There's the NAMI, there's the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and you can go to their website and click on the state that you live in. There's also the Veterans Crisis Line and the National Suicide Line. That number is 1-800-273-8255. And please do not suffer in silence. If nothing else, call 911. Mr. Perry.
I spent my youth running and living wild. I thought I was living until the love of my life helped me to see the prison that I was in. This has been Young People Nation, and remember, there is always hope.
Christ is the foundation. Know his word gon' lead us. Know I'm already going. Taking steps I believe in. Giving guidance to the youth. Giving guidance to the lost. Give the world to the project. Lead them back to the cross. He the #1 prospect. He the top boss. I was broke, I was empty. He the one that paid the cost. Really thought that I was cool. There was nothing like the savior. Now it's time for the truth. The whole world been waiting. It's Young People Nation. 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 The whole world been waiting. Whatever you going through, I know what he gonna do. Don't matter the circumstance, we going back to the root. Keep going, keep going. Let that seed keep growing. You need peace and we know it. Now it's time to live holy. Young People Nation. You know what time it is. Young People Nation. Get ready, the time is here. Get ready, we vibing here. We about to let God in here. Young People Nation. It's Young People Nation. Yeah, do it for the heavens, you know where we going. Influenced by his love, you know we gotta show it. It's time to put the youth on to what God is doing. Cause I can tell you now, right now, that God is moving. It's Young People Nation.